refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. I sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Dave's Doghouse. How y'all doing tonight? I know it's a lot of NBA action going on and the World Series, of course. But you are now live at Dave's Doghouse, so welcome. Hope everything is going well. Got some things that I want to talk about tonight. I am live right now on YouTube. That's my regular YouTube page and the R2L YouTube page. Refuse to lose, if you don't know what that is. And Facebook. So if you're on either one, make sure you like, share, subscribe. I am 4 subscribers away from 100 subscribers. So just do your boy a favor. Do your boy a favor and just go ahead and hit that subscribe button and then hit that notification button. So when I go live, you get the notification. Man, it's been some epic moments that have gone on in sports the past week or so, of course. But there's a lot of things, that happened that caught my eye. Some things that were very important as well. Some things that just, didn't make sense. People just doing things that they shouldn't be doing. So, got to make sure those things are corrected. So, we're going to go ahead and get this show started. And I'm going to talk about who on this week's show will be receiving some puppy chow. We're going to be talking about the doghouse. First, of course, we don't need to talk about who's already in the doghouse. Just know the next episode, we're going to have a few people coming out of the doghouse. This week, we're just going to focus on the doghouse and honorable mention and everything else. And what's going to happen is we got to talk about the first person that's going to be on this list for Dave's Doghouse. So there are certain rules that, these professional leagues have when it comes to things that you do. PEDs, gambling. And got some things, like I said, gambling, and a plethora of other things that happened throughout the time. But this particular person had already got suspended twice for 2 of those things I just talked about, gambling and PEDs. 2 weeks before this guy, Jameson Williams, wide receiver for the Detroit Lions, 2 weeks before he got suspended for PEDs, which was only for 2 weeks, like that recently just happened. Lions wide receiver Jameson Williams was nearly arrested after the Detroit police found multiple guns in his car. Now, the department that allowed him to go is under investigation because the plans were to take him to jail. What happened? Well, not only did they find multiple guns in his car, they were registered in his name, but he did not have a CPL for it. The officer concluded that was a problem and told Williams he was going to be taken into custody for carrying a concealed weapon. This is where Jameson Williams said, "I play for the Lions, bro. I'm Jameson Williams." He said at one point, I play for the Detroit Lions. The police sergeant recognized who he was. Camera footage showed that the sergeant's cell phone was the Lions logo. I mean, they in Detroit. So yeah, you're a Lions fan. And he let his fandom get in the way of him doing his job. Jameson Williams, you are the responsible player. You should know what you can and can't do. And you've already been suspended twice before. Like I said, one is for gambling. Got suspended for that. Then you just recently got suspended for PEDs. Now, you are possibly facing your third suspension in the NFL after your recent arrest. And this was just 2 weeks before you got suspended. Is this something with pro players and just continuing to put themselves in a situation where they get in trouble, like suspended or cut or traded or something like that? Like, why do things like this continue to happen? I just don't understand it. Jameson Williams, man, I'm not sure. I don't get it. I don't get it. You're playing for right now. It's looking like the best team in the NFC, a team that was just in the NFC Championship game last year. And now you may potentially be suspended again. And who knows how lengthy this suspension might be. This is conduct detrimental to the team and to the league. I don't even know what else to say. What else to really say about this, Jameson? The only thing I could say is you need to stop putting yourself in situations to where you could easily get locked up, have your career taken away from you. Because it's one thing to have a register in your name, but you don't even have a concealed license. If you know that there are multiple ways for you to get that, just do it the legal way. I understand all the other things that go on, but do it the legal way. Do it the legal way. Don't put yourself in a situation to where you may lose millions of dollars and lose your livelihood, lose your family, because you may end up in jail. You could serve time for stuff like that. We've heard about rappers and regular people. We probably know some people ourselves who got caught with the gun and got suspended or got locked up. Not suspended, but got locked up. So, Jameson Williams, man, you're the first one to get the call for this week. Just another boneheaded thing that you've done. So, Jameson Williams, you got to get your act together. Until you do, you're in the doghouse. My guy, you in the doghouse. All right, now I'm going to soccer. There's a coach that is no longer the manager for Manchester United. I don't know how many of you pay attention to soccer overseas. I know some people may watch MLS, but I'm a Manchester United fan. When I found out about soccer, that's the team I found out about, so I just stuck with it. It has not been good for quite some time. Erik ten Hag just recently got relieved of his duties this past Monday. He is no longer the head coach for Manchester United. This is what has happened with him as the head coach. 7 of his 27 Premier League defeats came via 90th minute winner. That's the highest percentage of defeats to the 90th minute goals of any member to lose 20 plus games in Premier League history. Just absolutely terrible. Manchester United faced 1,739 shots in their 128 games under Erik ten Hag. Since 2022, Manchester United have faced 1,717 fewer shots. Manchester City has faced 717 fewer shots than United, despite playing 6 more games in that timetable. Also, Manchester United has the biggest differential between expected goals and goals scored in the Premier League this season, which is 8 goals. From 8 goals to 14.6 was minus 6.6. That's the score. $11 points in 9 games and goal difference -3 for Manchester United in Premier League so far. 8 goals scored, 11 goals conceded. It's one of the worst managers in soccer, and he's now gone. There is someone else that's going to be taking over soon, but Erik ten Hag, you just have not done a good job at Manchester United. And until you get another opportunity and you turn another team around, or you do better with another team, not even have them turn them around, but you sustain it and you don't allow things like this to happen, then you'll be in the doghouse. Until then, I mean, you'll be able to get out, but until then, this is where you're going to be. Erik ten Hag, when it comes to other teams like Chelsea, Chelsea has won 10 of their 14 league games since the beginning of May, with only Manchester City having more points. And what would you know? In the game today, because Manchester United played. They played. We're set to pay Ruben Amorim a $10 million exit clause so he can be the guy to coach our team. And do you know what happened today? Let me tell you guys what I saw today and what happened. Because I had no idea that this was going to happen. Manchester United goes at Old Trafford. This Premier League under Ten Hag, 3. Tonight was the first game without him. Guess how many goals we scored? 5. 5. How do we score more goals in one game than we have during the season while you were the head coach? Clearly, it seems like there was a problem with you coaching this team. Bruno Fernandes versus Leicester. 2 goals, 2 shots on target, 2 successful take-ons, 4 chances on target, 5 shots. He was pretty much the most in all of those. Bruno had the game of his life without you there. So until you do something good somewhere else, this is where you're going to be. Welcome to the doghouse. Eric Ten Hag. My guy, you in the doghouse. And that concludes the doghouse for this week. But I do have an honorable mention that I want to talk about. This guy is now with a brand new team. And not a lot is really expected of him because of what he, pretty much came there to do. In his very first game as a Dallas Maverick, Klay Thompson. Yes, Klay Thompson put up 22 points, 7 rebounds, got 3 steals, and 6 of 10 from 3. That's 60% from 3-point. Only James Harden and Steph Curry have more games with over 5 threes made. Only those 2 guys. No one else has more other than them. Not Dame, not Buddy Hield, not Duncan Robinson, not. Think about all the 3-point specialists. Kyle Korver, Reggie Miller. I mean, can't count Reggie Miller. They weren't shooting that many threes back then. But you can name them all. None of them has made more than this guy. No one else. And he's doing this on the Mavericks team. In his first 3 games, he was averaging 19.7 points per game, 5 threes a game, 48, 46 on 100 splits. Mavs were 2-1. After last night, first 4 games, 16.5 points per game, a little under 5 threes a game, 42.5% from 3. I know some people saying that Klay was washed. I know some people that said that Klay ain't got it no more. I knew some people said that they didn't care to have Klay. Well, Mavericks made a move, and now that guy's contributing on their team. Sounds like he made a big difference to me. So that is the honorable mention for this week. I know I didn't have the sign up because I was just too excited to talk about it. But Klay Thompson, close to being a dog, my guy. Okay, now it's time now. It's time now. It's time to talk about the big dogs. It's time to talk about the big dogs. These are the ones, they're the champions of champions. Some of them don't have rings, obviously, but you know what I mean when I say champions. These are the ones that are dominating their perspective sports. They're the ones out there putting in the work for the things that they love the most and showing people why they are who they are. First up, guy played at Duke University, one of the best forwards in the league. Good 3-point shot now. And he's a part of a duo where a lot of people are questioning who's the better guy, who's the leader, who's the man, who should have won the Finals MVP last year. Who should have won the Eastern Conference Finals MVP last year? Well, he didn't get a lot of playing time in the Olympics this year. There was a rift. People said it was disrespectful that Steve Kerr didn't do what they needed to do by letting this guy play. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Do I really need to say his name? He was laughed at the entire Olympics because he wasn't getting no PT. The other guy just beat his team tonight. Tyrese Halliburton and the Celtics just beat the Celtics. But that doesn't mean that Jason Tatum ain't a dog. Jason Tatum. Y'all want to know what Jason Tatum has been doing this season? Let me tell y'all what Jason Tatum has been doing, man. He has the most points per game in the first quarter. He's averaging about 14 points per game in the first quarter. He is, not counting the numbers from tonight, one of just 5 people that have made more than 15 threes. He's third on that list. What's crazy is a guy on his bench is first. Peyton Pritchard is first. Then you got Jalen Green, then Jason Tatum, Jordan Poole, and Zach LaVine. 2 of these guys are champions. They ain't on the same team. Tatum on a revenge tour. At halftime, in the first game, in the third game, he had 22 points. You know, in first halves this year, Tatum has scored 25, 20, and 22 in the first half. Y'all saw he did game 1. He put up a nice, good 35 plus piece game. I think it was 38. He balled. And then in the first quarter against the Pistons, he had 17 points. The Pistons had 21. He was only 4 points less than the entire team. And the Pistons just won tonight. They just beat the 76ers. So, and the Pistons ain't the team that they was last year. They're not getting blown out. They in a lot of fights. Just saying. And then there's another game. He put 25, 11, and 6. And just 3 quarters. Most points in the season opener last season. Jason Tatum was third on that list. Above him was Damian Lillard and Cam Thomas. He put up 34 in the home opener last season. This season, 37 points for Jason Tatum in the first game. With Cam Thomas and Anthony Davis both behind them, both putting up 36 points in the season opener. What more do I need to say about the champ? He a champ now. He played for the team I highly dislike, but the man doing his thing. The man is doing his thing. So if you think that he has a chance to be MVP, go ahead and put that in the comment section. You tell me your thoughts. Tell me what you think about Jason Tatum being the dog for this week. I think he made He on a mission. Even though they lost tonight, he on a mission. And trust me, no one is going to allow him to just do his thing. So that means he's putting in work. He's working hard for it because the Celtics are going to get people's best every single night. They talk about going back to back. They said, let's do it again. Who gonna stop them? Well, Pacey said, hey, we got him tonight. But who gonna stop him in the 7-game series? I may know someone. Just saying. But Tatum, you're a dog, man. Welcome to the Dogs. Okay. Now, if you all don't know, for all those tuning in right now, there is a specific place that has a certain culture to it. I know a lot of places have a certain culture to it, but when it comes to this place, you just know it when you get here. The go-go music. You got the Wizards, the Capitals, the Mystics. You got the Mumbo Sauce. They call it Chocolate City. Washington, D.C., the 202. There's a team in that state. Well, technically they play in Maryland, but they're called Washington for a reason. They was going over new team names and everything. Then got a brand new ownership, new head coach, drafted a quarterback this year, got some new pieces, got a leader on the defense, and Bobby Wagner, Terry McLaurin. You know, you got Brian Robinson, you got Noah Brown that came over from the Cowboys as well. Dan Quinn, new head coach. Joe Witt Jr. as the defensive coordinator. You got Cliff Kingsbury as the OC. And I know for certain there aren't too many people that thought that this team would be 6-2 after 8 weeks. But guess what? The Washington Commanders are 6-2 in 8 weeks in the NFL. And you want to know where they stand right now in the NFC? Let me tell you what their quarterback said about the fan base. He said, I love the fan base here, man. I love the DMV. I love this organization, man. I couldn't be happier for them. He is enjoying it here. They have won 4 of their last 5 games. Starting against the Cardinals on the road, they go into Arizona, beat them 42-14, put up 5 touchdowns in that game. Then they play against the Cleveland Browns. Another beatdown to a team that was in the playoffs last year. Beat them 34-13, 4 touchdowns in that game. Against the Baltimore Ravens, you know, it's steeper competition. They lost the game 30-23, so they didn't get blown out, but they did give up a lot of points. Then they go on the road. Then they go back home, play the Carolina Panthers. Beat them 40-7. 4 touchdowns in that game. And then we all know, unless you were under a rock, you saw what I don't know if that hit me. Y'all saw what happened in that game. You saw that Hail Mary and that cornerback that was messing around and just talking about the team, man. And this is the Commanders are dogs. 6-2 this season, first in the NFC East and second in the entire NFC. They scored 24 touchdowns as a team so far this season. They are one of the highest scoring teams in the NFL. Did y'all know that? Averaging almost 30 points per game. 29.5 points. And guess what? That's the kicker. They're only allowing 20.9 points per game. The defense is starting to improve. Third down percentage, not too great. 46.4. But guess what? Guess where they are really great at? Fourth down percentage. Somebody in the comments, answer this question for me. What do you think is the Commanders' fourth down percentage? This fourth down, this do or die here. What's their fourth down percentage? You know what? I'm not gonna wait too late. I'm not gonna let you wait too long. They are one of only two teams that are 100% on fourth down. I don't know if you heard me correctly. They are 100% on fourth down. 100. Not 10, not 20, not 30, not 40, not 100% on fourth down. 9 of 9. So that means if they are going forward on fourth down, it's pretty much a guarantee that they're going to get it. The other team is the Buffalo Bills. Outside of them, the highest percentage is none other than the undefeated reigning Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, at 83%. Defense is improving. Like I said, they're not one of the, I wouldn't say they're one of the highest sack teams in the NFL, but they're up there. 21 sacks as a team on defense. Not really a turnover kind of a team, but 3 interceptions. Had a pick 6 this year. Then you look at fumbles. They forced 6 of them. Only recovered 4, but they forced 6 of them. So they're punching the ball out too. Sounds to me like the Commanders are doing what they can to improve this team and looking to be a threat in the NFC. I will say this. I didn't see this coming. I knew Jaden Daniels was good. But I wasn't expecting this soon. But he is playing really good. We all know about his record-breaking percentage in the first 4 games in the NFL career. No one had a higher completion percentage than him. I believe it was 85 or something like that. Or 82%. But it was. And then Terry McLaurin is starting to have one of his best years with Jaden Daniels. This offense is potent. And the Commanders, you just got to say it, they're dogs, man. They've come up clutch when they needed to. We all remember that. I don't know if we remember when we saw the drive when the game against the Bengals got close and he had to go down and he scored a touchdown, and that's exactly what he did. He drove the ball down the field and he threw a touchdown pass. And the game against the Bears, rookie against rookie, Caleb Williams versus Jaden Daniels. Who's going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year? Well, Jaden Daniels said it's going to be me. And he threw a Hail Mary touchdown pass to Noah Brown. Now, I mean, I know a lot of people say, well, it wasn't clean. It's like he threw it and he caught it like automatically. It got tipped, but it don't matter. The thing is, they got in position for that. And they got in position for that because of the pass he threw on third down to Terry McLaurin to get them closer to be able to throw the Hail Mary. And some of his passes just look effortless. The team's defense has played a lot better in the last few games. So the Commanders, like I said, they dogs. How long you gonna be here? It's all totally up to you. But this week, dogs for sure. Now, back to the NBA. We go. Back to the NBA. We go. We go. We go. I mentioned this guy's name already in the show. I said there's only 5 people that have made over 15 threes in this season. The other person that I named, that I'm about to be talking about, currently plays for the Houston Rockets. And what's crazy is he was almost traded on July 24th this year. They were talking about trading this man. They were open to trading him for players like Jimmy Butler, Mikal Bridges, Paul George, and Kevin Durant. He was that close to trading, to being traded. Then, earlier this month, Jalen Green became the first NBA player to successfully negotiate a 2+1 rookie extension on a 9-figure deal. He became a pioneer as the first NBA G League Ignite signing in 2020. Now he has the most unique rookie extension ever. 3 years, $106 million rookie contract extension. The boy got paid. Not only did he get paid, he's starting to show why he got paid. Now, as I said, he is one of 5 players that have made over 15 plus threes. He has made 19. Could be more than that, but I'm just talking about what I have for the one before the game started to play tonight. 19 threes. Most points this season. I'm going to name the list. And this is how it goes. 131, someone who was in the All-Star game last year. 116, another All-Star from last year. Jalen Green with 115. All-Star from last year, 115. All-Star from last year, 114, twice. All-Star from last year, 112. All-Star from last year, 106. He wasn't even an All-Star last year, and he got 115 points so far in the season. In those games, last game he played, 36 points, 7 threes, 11-22 from the field. Pure hooper. To start the season, 28 points, 22 points, 29-36. Now, he's currently tied in the NBA for most points in the NBA with Giannis Antetokounmpo. We know he's a 2-time MVP and an NBA champion. At halftime in the last game, he had 24 points, 82 from the field. He was 6 of 7 from 3. He's averaging over 25 points per game this season so far. On October 25th, I know this is not a fantasy basketball show, but all I got to say is he is one of 10 players that had over 40 points in fantasy. He had 45.2. So he was cooking. Jalen Green is balling, man. He's doing his thing. And maybe I was a year too early because I was high on this Rockets team last year. I said, they got Ime Udoka there. They went and got some other players to help out with this team. The guy that came over from Memphis. This team just seems like they're gonna do good because they have all the right pieces around them. Seems like it might happen this year. I don't know. Who knows? It's still early in the season. It's only been about 6 games played, but Jalen Green, you deserve the call. Welcome to the Dogs. And that's Jalen Green right there. I was wondering why I was talking about him. I didn't even bring up the video. But the boy doing this thing, man. Shout out to Jalen Green. Shout out to Jalen Green. Next person that made the cut to the Dogs of the Week. This young player, I think, hasn't necessarily, hasn't been a lot of talk around him, although I think it should have been. There has been some talk about him, but lately there hasn't been. There's been more. You hear more about Ashton Genty or Travis Hunter or Cam Ward. You've been hearing about Dylan Gabriel. You heard about Joe Milton. This quarterback right here plays for the Colorado Buffs. He plays with Travis Hunter. And, last year they were talking about they were just Instagram based. They didn't care about winning. They just care about showing off, Guess what? Guess who's bowl eligible this year? The Colorado Buffs. They were predicted to only win about 3 or 4 games this year. They already doubled the amount of games they won last year. They're 6-2. And they have a great chance to go 10-2. They have a really good chance to go 10-2 this year. Shedeur Sanders, son of Deion Sanders, prime, is out there making a name for himself for what he's doing on the football field. This season so far, he's thrown for 2,591 yards, 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and he's 23rd in the country in QBR with 75.2. In his last 5 games, Colorado was 4-1, and they've put up at least 28 points per game. On September 21st, against Baylor, led his team to a win in overtime against the Baylor Bears. They won 38-31. 25 of 41, completing 61% of his passes, 341 passing yards, and 2 touchdowns. No picks. Against UCF, blew them out, 48-21. 28-35, 290 yards passing, 80% completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. In the lone loss in this 5-game stretch against Kansas State, they lost 31-28, but he threw 34-40, 388 yards, 3 touchdowns, interception. Against Arizona in another blowout, 34-7, 23 of 33, 250 yards, about a 70% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. In the most recent game against Cincinnati, beat him 34-23, 25 of 30, 323 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. There aren't too many teams that can go from winning 3 games the year previously and then double that within the first 8-9 weeks of the next season. That's actually the same thing that the Commanders just did. Well, they didn't double it, but still. Commanders won 4 games last year. 4. They're 6-2 now. Colorado won 3 games last year. They're now 6-2. Colorado is now ranked, I think it was 22nd or 23rd in the country. And he is looking like he is legit going to be the first quarterback off the board in next year's draft. You got teams like Cleveland making, shirts and billboards and stuff like that. I'm probably exaggerating with the billboards, but AI pictures of him in the Browns jersey. I don't know where he's going to land. I don't know who's going to be the worst team in the league. I don't know who's going to draft him. But I think that they might. I think that this guy is going to be something special. I think it's definitely a possibility that he could be something special. Shedeur Sanders, welcome to the Dogs. All right, we're down to 3 more candidates. We're going to find out who's the big dog of the week, or who are the big dogs. Don't know. Well, there's another team in the NFL who has improved without even having to put up a lot of points. They are winning the old school way, And the old school way, I mean grit, defense, running the football, making key plays here and there, having just, hitters. One of the best defensive players in the league is on their team, if not the best defensive lineman in the league. Well, he is the best defensive lineman in the league. Quarterback controversy in the offseason. Then one of the quarterbacks is hurt for the first 6 games. He doesn't play. Team goes 4-2. Then they make the switch once he's healthy. They go 2-0. Oh, man, y'all know it's on. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers are 6-2 this season, number 1 in the AFC North, and 3rd in the AFC. They are one of the best defensive teams when it comes to points per game. They're only allowing 14.9 points, basically 15 points per game. And they're putting up about a little under 24 points per game. This is where they rank in yards. 9th best team in the league in defense. And rushing yards allowed. Number 4, allowing 90.6 yards per game on the ground. Passing, points allowed, like I said, number 2 in the league. Guess who has the number 1 scoring defense in the league? It's a team you probably wouldn't have thought who it would be. It's the San Diego Chargers. I mean, the Los Angeles Chargers. Sorry, said that wrong. Los Angeles Chargers. They're number 1. But the Steelers are right there at number 2. Defensive red zone touchdown percentage. Guess who's number 2? Pittsburgh Steelers. 37.5%. One of the best in the league. Like I said, number 2 overall. Third down rate. Top 15. They're number 11 overall. 34.7. This team, man, is This Steelers defense is one of the best in the league. Top 5 right now. Let's just be honest about it. This Steelers defense is top 5 right now. And they're fighting to get to the ball, man. They also are one of the good teams when it comes to sacks and forcing turnovers. They're one of 2 teams that have 10 interceptions on the season. The Steelers and the Saints both have forced 10 interceptions on the season. And the Steelers also have forced 8 fumbles and recovered 5 of those. This is an opportunistic defense. Another thing about the Steelers. They went from just a solid team to now looking like a contender in the AFC. Before Russ started, they were averaging 300 yards a game. Now they're close to averaging 500 yards per game with Russ running the helm. This is all with having the offense improve in the last 2 games. They're on top of the division. You know, they were second for like 2 weeks. Now they got right back. And they did it with 2 quarterbacks. 2. Justin Fields and Russell Wilson. And guess what? A lot of people in the organization didn't even want Russ to come in and start after they were 4-2. They thought it was a bad decision. Mike Tomlin made the decision on his own. And they're 6-2. Top of the AFC North. Hardest division in football. Toughest division in football. It's not much more you can say about the Steelers, but Steelers, welcome to the Dogs. All right, I will be right back, and we'll do a quick commercial break, and see you in a minute.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Hahn.
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win, apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
All right, now we're back. We got 2 more candidates to talk about. Just 2. Shout out to my guy, AJ. He made a post that I saw on Facebook. And I thought, this person kind of makes sense to kind of put as a dog for this week. He's actually had a pretty good comeback in the last couple of games. Top 10 in EPA right now. at plus 16. Oh, by the way, Jaden Daniels is second overall in that, with Josh Allen above him at plus 30. Lamar Jackson is right there with plus 28. My guy Purdy's up there too. I mean, plus 19. But this guy who is on a team that's been getting a lot of flack, especially how they started this year and how they ended last year, getting blown out in the playoffs, losing 6 of their last 7 games in the regular season after starting 10-1. So, I mean, kind of a downer. Oh no. Yeah, something like that. 6 of the last 5 of the last 6, whatever. Quarterback now has the most rushing touchdowns since he's gotten in the league as a quarterback. Jalen Hurts is a dog for this week. What has Jalen Hurts done to say that he's a dog for the week, Dave? Last game, he completed 16 of 20 passes, 236 yards, and a touchdown. Over 10 air yards, he completed 6 of 7 passes for 161 yards and a touchdown. In his last 3 games, Jalen Hurts has thrown for 9. He has scored 9 total touchdowns. Of course, he hasn't thrown 9 altogether, of course. 0 turnovers, and the Eagles have won 3 straight games. He had, in the last game against the Bengals on the road, where they haven't won ever. This is their first time ever winning in Cincinnati. 200. I don't know if it's ever, but the last 4 for sure. Jalen Hurts, 16 of 20, 273 total yards, 4 touchdowns. The only quarterback in NFL history to record 3 rushing touchdowns in 3 games. The Eagles are right behind the Commanders at 5-2. They had an early bye week, and they're starting to look like they're bullying everybody because they go and blow out the Giants and then they blow out the Bengals. Commanders, you got some competition behind you. Jalen Hurts is leading that team right now. Jalen Hurts he's been balling for the Birds up in Philadelphia. So, Jalen Hurts, I'm keeping my eye on you, man. I see you. I see what you're doing. Keep doing your thing. As long as you don't do it against my Niners, I don't care. But Jalen Hurts, man, you definitely been doing your thing. Definitely balling, getting your team back to where it needs to be. Seems like Kellen Moore's starting to run an offense that kind of fits what you need, along with having Saquon Barkley back there, and along with, having AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert is out there, Devontae Smith. Your defense has gotten a lot better over these last few games as well. So, kudos to you, Jalen Hurts. And, just like everyone else got the call, you get the call too. Welcome to the Dogs, Jalen Hurts. Okay, now we got one last person to talk about. And he is the big dog of the week. We talked about one Duke player already. There's another Duke player right now that's playing bonkers for the Orlando Magic. He's not even 22 years old yet. It's only 21. And it's Paolo Banchero. Paolo Banchero. There are only two people in NBA history to record 50 plus points, 10 rebounds, and 5 assists. Through 5 games, Paolo Banchero is averaging 29 points per game, 8.8 rebounds, 5.6 assists, the most points per game to start a season by a player aged 21 or younger since LeBron did it in 2005. Paolo Banchero is balling right now. He is balling, man. Paolo also another thing that Paolo has done so far, man. He has the very first 50-point game this year. And it was almost a 50-point triple-double. He put up 50 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 blocks, shooting 61.5% from the field. He is one of 9 players to score 50 points before their 22nd birthday. He's the youngest forward since LeBron to put 50 points per game. LeBron did it in 2006. He was 1 assist away from a 50-point triple-double. He became just the 4th player in NBA history to record 50-plus points and 10-plus rebounds in a game age 21 or younger. He joined LeBron, Jamal Mashburn, and Rick Barry. Last season, there were 20 50-point games last year. Devin Booker, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey all got 3. Luka, Jalen Brunson, and Giannis all got 2. Then you follow that with Malachi Flynn, Steph Curry, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Zach LaVine. Well, the first one to get it this year is Paolo Banchero. And on October 28th, he had the most points in the game that day. Clearly, he did. Paolo Banchero is the dog of the week, the big dog of the week, because he has his Orlando Magic looking like one of the best teams in the East, just like they were last year. There are a lot of Orlando Magic fans that I know that think that they took over Florida. I mean, somebody tell me what it is that's going to change that. Even though the Orlando Magic lost tonight, they're 3-2 on the season. They lost 1-2 in 99 against the Bulls. But Paolo is balling. He's playing bonkers right now. In tonight's game, Paolo put up 31 points, 7 rebounds. He was 2-9 from 3, 12 of 22 from the field. And he had 4 assists to go along with that. He had no one else on his team put up 20. Franz only put up 7 points in tonight's game. If he just puts up 15, they win that game. But that's the big dog of the week, Paolo Banchero. Played at Duke University. And now he's balling in the same colors in another city in Orlando, Florida. Some say he's going to be top 5 this year. Somebody say he's going to be MVP. All I'm going to say is we'll see. But until then, welcome to the Dogs, Paolo Banchero. That concludes the show for tonight. Appreciate those who tuned in. As I said before, we are 4 subscribers away from 100 subscribers. Ain't that hard to say subscribe. You know you're getting good content. You know you want to hear what's going to happen the next week and the week after and the week after and the week after. Is your team going to be in the doghouse? Is your team going to be big dogs? You gotta figure that out. But the best way to find out is to hit that subscribe button and hit the notification button. So when I go live, you'll see. So till then, thank y'all for tuning in. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all tune to the other shows. The World Series is on right now. I know BWT is going to go live after the World Series game. The Yankees are up right now 6-5. So make sure you tune into that. Until then, see y'all next time. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.